100%, as usual.
It was at 20 something this morning when I came in.
Why don't they charge it? We are small
Because
heads.
they were charging the social media phone, and they forget that the WhatsApp phone, in a lot of ways, is priority. All right, here we go.
How can I take a do? Acre.
Studio, mics are up. Good morning. Listening to Smooth Breakfast on tape to Talking Sports inside the locker room with Valentine
and Folu
and Tega Onojaife, aka Tega Supreme. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning. Good morning, Lagos.
Excellent. Great to have you here with us. Now, Lagos and the rest of the world join us this morning on the airwaves. You can also join us in conversation by going over to WhatsApp and sending us a number, sending us a message even. But our number to message is 0809 444 0981. That is the WhatsApp number. But you can tweet at us. Just make sure you use the hashtag lockerroom981, which will allow us to see your messages and read them out on the airwaves. And last but not least, we're also streaming on YouTube. So feel free to search us out on YouTube and catch the live stream right now, which we will also tweet to you by simply searching Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right. Now let's get into our sports stories for this morning. So Super Eagles captain John Obi Mikel has told team officials that he will not be available for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Seychelles on the 8th of September. Yikes. You see, according to Coach Gernot his China club, Tijan Teda. Now, he says, we spoke together. He's coming back from an injury and he needs to push his club commitments to get back in shape. So after injury, he needs time to get fit again. That's what Gernot Rohr had to say. So I know this is, it'll definitely be a blow to the team to some extent. But what are your thoughts on this, Tega?
No blow to the team to any extent. I
No?
would say that. No.
As captain?
Yeah.
Captain?
He qualified. Look, how many without Mikel out of tournaments? This is normal. I expected it. He's in his club. His coach has already said that as long as some Jonathan guy was available and fit, he's going to be playing him more. Mikel has to fight for that money. Thank you. So I'm not surprised. I mean, especially after Victor Moses retired, I'm not surprised if I'm leaving. He's one of those I expect very soon. So it's how do you move on without him? I think the team list is coming out today, so I hope they're saying there's a surprise or two. I'm waiting to see what the surprise or two will be, but I think they could just without him. That's fine.
Okay.
Let him do for his sport. When he gets his back,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He'll come back. All right.
It's not like Moses that just shut the door. Completely shut it, lock it.
I don't.
I like you again. Daniel Ricciardo has insisted his short decision to play ball for Renault is not linked to the rise of Max Verstappen, and there is no bad blood between his Ricciardo added on Thursday actually in a press conference. He said there was no bad blood or falling out with anyone with the team, with the bosses, or there was back and forth over the last few months. In the end, the deal, we were a happy place with it. In the end, it was all up to me.
Yeah. What are you? You're trying to sell us stories when we've heard what the management has said. But it's back, the Formula One weekend, so we can't wait. So this weekend would be interesting to see renewed rivalry between Hamilton and Vettel. But what was interesting was how Red Bull and Daniel Ricciardo will work together for the rest of the season, because it hasn't been interesting. So Hummels comes out, the owner of Red Bull comes out to say that Ricciardo actually told him that he was going to renew his contract, only for him to hear that he signed for what's his name now? Chris Hunter. So that Daniel Ricciardo is afraid of Verstappen. That's why he went to sign for another constructor. Bottom line, they haven't been talking nice in public, Ricciardo. So you cannot convince me that behind closed doors is any nicer. At the end of the day, they're just going to keep if your engine wants to blow up, if your car wants to park in the middle of the race, let it park.
What's the problem with it?
They're going to look. They really to be able to retain him.
Yeah.
So for him to now, and according to them, he said he this contract. So it was a question of how much. Move to another constructor. Some people are feeling burnt there, and some other. This is an acrimonious situation. You're gonna park by the road.
Just had to find a way to bring
We have to find a way to bring that in. But let's see how it work out for them this weekend. I think they're going to try their utmost best to put them in front. But I'm waiting for the explosion.
All right, we wait. Andy Murray will take on Ancelotti Duckworth in the first round of the US Open with the one in line for a potential third round blockbuster against third seed Juan Mastro. So Nadal also opens up his campaign against Spanish Ferrer, who is playing at Flushing Meadows for the final time with Kevin Anderson, Denis Shapovalov, and Jack Sock and Dominic Thiem all in the same quarter. While Hungarian Martin Fusovic, while five-time winner Federer begins his pursuit for a first 2008 against Japan's Yoshihito Nishioka.
Yes, now it's in action.
Big girls coming through, big boys.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope there's a soundtrack as they're entering the court.
I don't know how this is going to be, but exactly the way they were ranked. Rafa Nadal in number, Roger Federer number 2, and Djokovic back up to number 3 now. So it's been interesting to see with Djokovic revival, let me call it that, wins Wimbledon. Then just last week he won Cincinnati. It'd been and then Rogers Cup the week before was won. So let's see how it is going to be. All 3 of them have won the first 3 Grand Slams of the year. So who's going to win the last one is a question. And Rafa Nadal has had that great rest. Djokovic has had that fantastic momentum. It's only Federer that's been very shaky, especially in Cincinnati. But he's been very graceful about it because the press was trying to harass him. My people. They were trying to harass him about it. They're like, Djokovic won, congratulations to him, but you played so poorly. And it didn't just start today. It started all weekend. And like, okay, yeah, this is not about me. Djokovic won. I was like, this is graceful. Maybe he's deflecting. You never know.
But for the penny to drop.
He's the only one really that's coming into the US Open with questionable form. His magic is enough to overcome a few of the lower ranked guys, but against two that may be your potential contenders in as early as the quarterfinals, are you fit enough or are you ready enough to beat him in his answer? But it'll be interesting to see that really high up, but she starts in she faces a pretty decent opposition. Sloane Stephens, I don't know how it's going. You won here last year. Anything less than the final. So let's see how it goes.
We have a message in from Jiri. Jiri says it was a factor, I think. Max was growing stronger and he wanted to avoid a turbulent relationship just like Hamilton and Rosberg. The relationship with the management, as it was perceived that Max was the favorite son. Killing this disease before it spreads. Let's see how Renault turns out. The next story now is semi-final between England and Japan. Both sides, as talking about Yuan, had shown an intent to attack and score goals in large numbers. So at the final whistle, it was the young Nadeshiko that reached their first Women's World Cup final with a commanding performance that seemed reminiscent of a team that has improved with each match at Fri. According to a statement quoted by Rico for Ueki, Japan striker, says, I came here to try and win this World Cup and to try to make history in Japanese women's football. The key was to get a goal early in the match. That was very important for us and also very important for me. I feel my goal made a difference in the match, and it makes me feel very proud and positive.
Yes, and they get to face their bonus is to face the Spanish side that is now without one of their key players, Etana Bonmati. She picked up a red card. Oh God, she was broken when she picked up that red card. She picked up a red card for a senseless tackle because the referee had been warning her, be careful, yeah. You are on a yellow card, and she was still playing her normal game. Then she got the red card and she wept all the way home. But she's key to that Spanish. There is something largely missing. Yes, they do have Gihara, who is the highest goal scorer in this at this tournament, still playing up front for Spain. But Gihara usually has this fantastic chemistry with so without Bonmati in that midfield and Gihara work together alone, and she's missing from that. But the Japanese side, everything is flowing for them. Everything is good. They create a lot of chances. They defend very well. Spain has a tendency once in a while to concede goals, but they're a bit more well structured. So it's beginning to look like, because of that red card, especially because of that red card, it's beginning to look like girls are tipped in Japan's favor. But then again, Spain can still surprise us. There's a reason why they have the best goal scorer in the tournament right now on their side. So let's see how it goes on. Yeah, today.
Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, there's still more to discuss right here on Inside the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
This is Rodis, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Eva.
Nowadays,
Coast to coast, New York to Chicago, it's LA. Ding ding. Angie Martinez. You'll be alright. Can I get a date on Friday?
Pain on my arms. Every time I stretch and I feel pain.
Walked up.
Yes, 6-pack loaded.
6-pack loaded. One packet
services on Sundays at 8 a.m. Mondays at 6 p.m. at 2 to 10. God bless you.
Onisha, Yano,
Heaven's goal.
You're the God of awesome wonder. Eva!
Give them. Hello?
No time to waste this time.
Here's how actors usually speak when they win at the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards.
Stop scratching your body.
My mom, my sister, my aunts, brothers, uncles, sisters.
That's right.
Give them Oga M, number 1 on the charts on the day of release.
Bad guys.
Good for him.
Mad. That's very good.
Effect at the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, proudly refreshed by H2O. Follow H2O Niger on social media to catch all the excitement.
Pre-order now. Squeeze. You can just give me.
Yes, do it. Stock them.
Did people eat your meat yesterday?
Oh.
Why people like this?
And there is Lakumi's meat on top. What do you mean? Who do you think we are? Who do you think we are?
Like this,
That was our breakfast.
For you.
Sorry.
They kept for you now, didn't they?
So we're financing solar power.
Why?
It's just one of the ways we're
Because there were like
helping
46 people there to separate meat for.
families closer together.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because we're not
Actually, didn't occur to me. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Sorry
true.
about that. Because I was there when they were doing the math. Because they had to do for everybody that was around. So we didn't keep for anybody that was on. I was actually there when they were doing it.
Hey everybody, what's
But
up?
it was a tough decision to make.
Music.
It was. In fact, I was actually shocked. I was like 40. How about be 40 something? Yeah. We are 40 because everybody's driver had to receive. Everyone that was on ground had to get. Sorry, and Mr. Fashion only did 1 ram instead of 2, which apparently he usually does.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, you like chicken over other.
I like meat, period.
Please, we're in studio. Oh, yes, we do love this city. You are listening to Sports Inside the Locker Room. 98.1 right here in Lagos. All right, so let's jump into our next sports story. Do remember you can keep sending in those messages to us. The number is
0809-444-0981.
Now let's talk about La Liga. Arriba! So Sergio Busquets says that the Spanish Footballers Union, AFE, is united in opposition to La Liga's plans to play one regular season game in the United States. Busquets said in a video broadcast on Thursday, "We are all united. The union is strong, and as our president has said, we all think the same way on this. Together we are stronger, and this, opposing the plans, is a path that we all want to take, and we believe it is what is best for football."
Okay.
Okay, well, he did carry on though, because AF President David Aganzo now said that the players were angry and surprised about the proposal and would not rule out a strike action if it was necessary to block the proposal, saying they would do everything possible to avoid this. Why are they so opposed to playing one game?
Okay, here is what it is. You see how the NBA wanted to globalize the NBA, and so they're taking games out from the US. Now they're playing in the UK regularly. Same thing with the NFL. But the La Liga wants to do the same thing. They want to globalize their game, but it also means more money to spread the awareness. Unfortunately, these ignorant people in 2018 ignored the players' union completely and made this decision by themselves.
Unilaterally?
Thank you.
Wow.
They were feeling like slave masters. After all, we've given them contract and we're paying them salary. So we, the owners of the clubs, we can take the decision. Then the players are like, "It's not our talent you want to sell.
Kata
Come
has
on."
bust.
Exactly. Come and sell it. So here it is. Ultimately, it boils down to money. Like I said, the La Liga is going to make more money from getting from globalizing this game. They know exactly what their market is in USA and in China. So it's a good plan if only they had carried everybody along. And the players are the ones saying, look, if we're going to have to travel mid-season all the way to the US, because the US is not backyard. It's not like a UEFA Champions League game that we can take one flight to the rest somewhere in Europe and then come back. This is very far. If we're going to take that trip, you cannot just only leave us with fatigue. We have to negotiate some things. So this thing is about comfort and again about the money. If you negotiated well with the players, this will be a non-issue. And so at the end of the day, now the owners of the clubs are trying to sit down with the players' union meeting after this to see what they can negotiate. But like the players union is saying, if you don't change that rule now, even this small La Liga that we are playing will take a strike. So we wait to see. There are interesting games that will be played this weekend. Barcelona taking on Valladolid, Real Madrid taking on Girona, who they lost to last season. So we're waiting to see. Those are interesting games you want to look forward to. But if there's strike, no La Liga for you.
Strike. Let's talk about Arsenal midfielder Mkhitaryan. So he actually says he does not know why people are criticizing him so much after his side's difficult start to the new season. The 29-year-old Armenian said, "I'm the worst critic in my football game. I do not need any extra criticisms. I know very well what I'm giving to the team and what the team gives to me. We have a new manager and I'm trying to adapt to his philosophy and also his demands," said Mkhitaryan. He continues, "I do not know why people are so critical or why they are criticizing me so much. I'm not paying attention because I know I've played bad. If I played bad or if I played well."
Kaingwagi, let me tell you why they are criticizing you, in case you didn't know. Arsenal is supposed to be one of the big clubs in England. They have spent money, they have brought in a new coach, but the result is still the same. Ego criticism. They also watched you against Manchester City where you were invisible, and they watched you against Chelsea where you scored one goal and maybe created a second one, but you still missed a few chances that could have helped your team to win. They will criticize you, and it's not just you, it's the whole team, because they feel like, okay, you were complaining that it was a manager that wasn't ambitious. Okay, that supposedly non-ambitious manager has gone. Where the Superman players are supposed to be bringing the results? So they will criticize you, and they are right to do so. You can't tell me that you know that you've played poorly. Why didn't you improve in the next game? Why didn't you win your next game? But they have an opportunity to do so. On Saturday, they play against West Ham. Now, yes, it is a London derby, and yes, derbies take a different tone. But the fact that West Ham bought new players learn and they're struggling to find their feet, it's an opportunity for you to take advantage of their weakness, even if you have your own weakness. So instead of complaining about people criticizing you, how about you get on the pitch and do some work?
What I bring to the table.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over to some of the messages that are coming through. This has to do with the female football. He says, Olufemi Omotaya up on our live stream on YouTube says, I was hoping that the English girls would replicate what the boys did last year.
They did.
How wrong. It says, now I predict Japan to win the Under-20 World Cup. A great show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got
Tony.
no name. Okay, Tony, please just put your name to all uni messages, Tony. We can't scroll up. We're busy. Says Tiger Mikel is going nowhere until he makes a 100 cap for Nigeria.
Okay, the name is
That's
Tega.
a new name.
Ogene Tega is the name.
I was wondering who he was referring
Tiger.
to.
Ogene Tega.
Yeah,
If you cannot spell it, you spell Tega for short.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Chimabi Victor, meanwhile, says La Liga players are just trying to make their voice known because they won't go on any strike. The deal has been signed already. You guys shouldn't be afraid. I've spoken with the players this morning.
Wow.
Wait on.
Well
Chimabi, wait on. Cruz says, I beg, let's take our own NFL Global to jaw. I'm so sure our players won't complain or protest. Any continent you want them to go and play, them go. I'm just not sure that all of them will come back.
There's that. Shaggy from Ikorodu says, like Ozil, like Mickey. Maybe Jose was right, though he got the same thing. What? Got the same thing in exchange.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's look at what we're typing. All right, we've got more stories to get through. So Carlo Ancelotti will make his home debut on the Napoli bench on Saturday against the team that he turned into world beaters during an 8-year spell as coach. Don't you love it when this happens? So he says it was a unique show and the passion of the crowd in the stands left me speechless, adding that Saturday's game would be a reunion between friends. It must have been from that magical afternoon that I really began to cultivate my dream of working in the South, which then became a reality at the beginning of the summer with the offer of Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis. This is a quality squad despite what Ancelotti asked you. He went on to say, I'm here to give satisfaction to the Napoli fans who have been waiting a long time.
And it is important you give that satisfaction. Good news for you is that AC Milan is also struggling too. So, fantastic one. You people are in a good place.
I like how sports stories sometimes sound like Game of
We
Thrones.
demand satisfaction.
So, he has to go there and do some work. Napoli wasn't really impressive in their first game, but they did win at the end of the day. And the 3 points are in the bag. And so when you see it go from a team that was playing a little more fluid football last season to a team that is struggling, and people don't want to consider that some key players have left there, like you still have to play the same. It's still Napoli. Ancelotti has some work to do, and he faces an AC Milan side that also wants to impress. So it's going to be a battle, and there's going to be all these emotions with the AC Milan fans coming over. But he has to focus on the work, and he has a lot to do to redeem his image. Leaving Bayern Munich the way he left Bayern Munich with poor results, only for a guy that retired to come out of retirement and restructure the Bayern Munich season. He'd want to, should I say, polish his resume once again with a good showing at Napoli, and AC Milan is one of those teams he needs to beat. So let's see how that turns out for him on Sunday evening or Sunday night.
Watch out for that. Now, keep your messages coming into Twitter. We use that hashtag LockerRoom981. Our Twitter handle is at Smooth981FM. Brighton manager Chris Hughton has urged his side to carry the momentum of their 3-2 win over Manchester United to Anfield when they faced Liverpool on Saturday. He said, an away game at Liverpool, they almost do not come tougher than that. We will certainly have to show a lot of the qualities we showed in last week's performance. I think it allows us to go with a little bit of confidence and a bit less pressure. There isn't anybody that would see us winning it in that game. We've got to approach the game in a manner that will allow us to get something.
When you beat Manchester United 3-2, even if it should have been worse than 3-2, the next person that faces you already now recognizes that you're trying to be a giant killer. And the worst way to do this, if Liverpool were away, it would have been maybe a little hopeful. But Liverpool at home, and you that just finished beating Manchester United are coming to their home, they're going to rush you like pepper rice. There's no way that from the get-go, there's no way Brighton is going to have a minute or two to rest. Liverpool is very strong at Anfield, so that's task one. And then they have fantastic players who can run at you for 90 minutes. That's strike two.
Okay, rush.
So it is a lot, and I know he says yes, we should set up the same way we set up against Manchester United. We should play the same way. Guy, don't do it. You come out, you chop goals. It's that simple. So I'm waiting to see exactly how they will get back-to-back results. He's not even saying they want to win. He's saying they should come away with something.
Yes.
So 1
That's
point
being
is
modest.
good enough.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the final few minutes talking sports inside the locker room. So hurry and get those messages and comments in to WhatsApp and Twitter. Use the hashtag lockerroom981.
This Donald Trump talks like he's retarded.
Say if it's impeached.
Everybody will be poor.
Everybody will be poor.
Like they were poor before he came into power.
King of the world. Just making all this decisions so everybody can find food on their table.
Well, he has a 43% approval. You guys should leave that guy. He's making waves.
Wave maker.
To download
Wavy
videos without
guys.
worrying about my data. And to use social media and generally
43% is a lot.
That's my hustle.
For Donald, it's a
Now with
lot.
Google Station, I'm able to do that and much more. Google Station is high quality internet that is fast.
Okay, you start from this message and
safe,
this
and
message.
more importantly,
I've been
free.
invited to an
That
80
Google
year-old's
and its
birthday
partners
party.
have made available
Cool.
across
That's the
key
best
locations
chops, man.
all
That
across
food is going to be live.
Do you understand? Age range and dude, when you celebrate at that age,
What the hell are you searching for information?
I hate meat, Jerry. Jerry kept meat for me.
Why wait?
You
We
did.
can people.
So see, no? Excellent. I like that.
so that
This man keep. I was like, why did you meet me?
No one. Okay, did it. Wait, I knew that was my breakfast. So whatever happened, I was like, hurry up and decide how many you want to give me. Let me just eat.
I was like, eh? What are you saying?
And now this morning I'm craving Ghana high rice.
I want my ram meat too. That was some.
I know. I got the same reaction from somebody 3 days ago.
And life almost comes to a
I mean,
standstill.
the quality now varies if you don't show up early. But it's mad. Yeah, that's really
It's
yeah.
just one
Yeah.
of the ways we're helping
Because after that,
communities thrive
okay,
and bringing
we'll have
families
you.
closer together.
I want ram meat. Why didn't Miss Ireti bring meat?
from where?
We're Standard
She
Chartered.
half her family is Muslim. She always has meat in her
But
house.
she said she didn't want that, and nobody even brought meat for her. She said that yesterday. I asked her.
That nobody brought the meat for her. She didn't go home now.
The same with Lakumi. It's like when I fight Lakumi. Lakumi so far is Muslim, and she didn't bother as well. That's why we were able to eat her meat because she really just didn't care. Look at your face. That's how we felt.
I didn't know that because Miss Ireti always had meat in her house. But I shall harass Lakumi now.
All right, we're back in studio.
This is Khadija, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Yes, you are listening to the Smooth Operators on Smooth Breakfast as we round up interesting sports conversation inside the locker room on Smooth Breakfast. Let's go over to your messages as they flood in, all right?
Yes, Mkhitaryan, this is from Benga Komo. He says, Mkhitaryan, you're supposed to be a big player and you should take big criticisms. We're tired of players feeling entitled. We're going to criticize you, die.
Okay.
Easy now.
MI from Akoka says the captains of La Liga might just follow Ronaldo and defect to Syria because they were not carried along and given juicy positions. But on a serious note, I believe that they are major stakeholders and at least they should have been consulted. And Brighton will walk alone at Anfield. This is no shade. Never walk alone.
Tunde says, what's the Brighton coach feeling like, Chef? Well, now Mourinho and co mess up.
Okay. Shago from Ikorodu says, just because you defeated a disjointed United, you think you have arrived? Oh, Brighton, thou will get beaten in a bright manner. All right. Okay. Let's see. We're kind of actually done with sports, so let's just round up with the messages, shall we? Bash from Yaba says, I beg Tega, I'm very disappointed. Something about the Syria, some years has stopped the season. We wanted to watch Cristiano Ronaldo.
But it's on the main one now. So your main network. I can't be selling market for people.
Don't be angry. Don't be angry. And finally, Nathan Njoku says, Tega, the guy spelled your name correctly now. Now also correct. Change jam. Spain have defeated Japan already at the World Cup, but I don't see them winning today. Arsenal and West Ham are in the same wahala. I hope they play a score draw. I can't wait to see Leon Balungu versus Salah. Very interesting. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for the conversation and the good laughs this morning. It has been a fantastically good Friday. I see you guys up on the live stream as well. Ibrahim Hassan telling me my hat is nice. Thank you. But says Tega, I can't wait for F1. I've been missing the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And also says, but please leave my Arsenal alone. First time in over 22 years we have a new coach. Time is needed. Please.
That's a long
All right, that's it. Coming up next, we've got some great music and, of course, Lagos Talks 981 inside that 9 o'clock hour. Keep listening to Smooth Breakfast with Valentine.
And Folu.